The darkness surrounds us. It's time to light up the night. It's time for Zero Dark 30 with John.
Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Well, everyone, I'm back. It is Zero Dark 30 blasting out of the bunker, coming at you live, folks. I look around and there's a storm upon us. A storm. So I asked the question, how are our problems going to be decided out here on the street? We know how they're going to be decided for the rich and wealthy, for the powerful and elite. Right? They play little pretend games. But here for us on the street, will we rely on the courts to solve our issues and fix our problems? Or will it be the mobs determining things? Now, I'm going to give you a headline. A headline. And we get to openly and honestly discuss it. In Arkansas, a judge has ruled that Arkansas's ban on children's gender reassignment treatment, surgery, to be illegal. They can't ban that. The government, elected by the people, cannot ban or say what is or is not illegal activity. A judge can tell you what is or is not illegal. So is it elected representatives or appointed eggheads? Now, I just revealed my opinion, right? But here's the deal, right? So an Obama-appointed judge overrules the will of the people and common sense, dignity, decency, and morality. Courts have proven themselves to be weaponized, absolutely weaponized. They're politicized, they're polarized. They represent special interest thinking and un-American ideology. The ideology they subscribe to is that of Marxism. Now, there's also good courts where the idealism or ideology that they embrace is one of liberty, freedom, or constitutional law and order. So we have courts being 180 degrees diametrically opposed to us, the people, or with us, the people. They're opposed to each other, just like the people on the street are 180 degrees diametrically opposed to one another. There is no bridging the gap. There's no, well, that was a tough decision to make. We really had to work hard on that one. You know, it was just a fine line between yes and no. There are no fine lines here, folks. It is freaking stark. The difference between saying the government has or has not an authority, or the people have or have not a right, it's not a fine line. It's very stark. The government, if it can say, and culture, tradition, law, and precedent says that the government has a right to protect people's lives, right, then it does. And you can examine it critically, you can examine it intelligently, you can examine the hell out of it and see the truth of the matter. It's not hard to figure out. We've got a problem in this country, folks. Okay. Let's just go over this very quickly again. On the side of the elites, you have Hunter Biden commits egregious international financial crimes bordering on treason against his own country. And he gets charged with a misdemeanor. Let go. His political opposite, Donald Trump, gets charged with 37 counts of what? Right? Possessing documents. He didn't sell them to another country or another company. He didn't trade them for financial gain. He says they were declassified. And as the president, that's more believable than a crack addict, cocaine addict son of an addle-minded fool saying that, well, what he did was just a misdemeanor. So here we are, polarized, politicized, weaponized. So we step back and we go, okay, the courts, they can't decide what law is or isn't. It's political. For the elites, there is no right and wrong. There's only political. So it comes down to what policy, what political system do you want? What are you willing to live with? Are we going to be ruled by courts who are no better at making decisions and choosing what is right and wrong than we are? Are we going to be ruled by courts, or are we going to fight this out on the street? It's a fair question, I think. At this point, folks, the Democrats, the socialists, the communists, they believe when a court rules in their favor, it was the right thing. Finally, the court got it right. And for us, when the courts rule in our favor, we're like, finally, the courts got it right. They finally figured it out. When in fact, it depends on what door you walk through at what courthouse to discover what the law really is. It's a crapshoot, or rather, a political game. That is no way to run a country, folks. There's no way to run a railroad. There's no way to run a fucking circus. So what have we left, you and I? The American people. Ultimately, it comes down to who's willing to fight on the street. The mob. The mob. We aren't going to be allowed to organize into well-regulated militias. We're not going to be allowed to do that. You're not going to be allowed to practice and train so that you can defeat the enemy and create a better political system, one that will safeguard your freedoms and liberties and those of everyone else, protect our property, and ensure the tranquility and peace. We're not going to have that because the government won't allow it. The same government that is bipolar and is suffering from its own version of political dementia. Here we are. Are you ready? Do you see what's left? If the courts are not consistent and the law is not applied equally, but rather with equity, fairness, no, equally, equality, consistency, then we're going to have conflict, partisan conflict. Folks, the fruitcakes out there, that's right, the fruitcakes, they have lost their shit. You trust them? The fruitcakes don't trust you. They're getting more and more exposed every day, folks. What came up during the Trump administration is going to come up again. The ritual abuse of children by the rich, by the powerful, right? There's so much at stake for them. Their control of massive corporations, the monetary system, their ability, and in fact, James O'Keefe has come out with a discussion, just absolutely talking about how the government, politicians, U.S. senators are for sale. The whole system is corrupt. It's going to fall back on us. It's going to fall back on us to get this right, one way or another, from hell or high water. So you better get ready for both. That is hell and high water. Are you prepared? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and your plan. You think Joe Biden's going to straighten his act up as soon as he gets rid of Trump? Do you think the courts will figure this shit out? think someone like Elon Musk or some other charismatic figure is going to come along and just fix everything? I don't trust any of them, folks. I don't trust any of them because they flip sides as quickly as you would flip a pancake every 5 minutes. I hope you are prepared. The storm is on us. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Godspeed, Semper Fi.